Welcome to WhatGear Reviews. If you're a Sony fan and you like Sony tech and camera comparisons and speed tests and all this kind of stuff, then consider subscribing for more Sony content in the future. In the words of Arnie, do it. Do it now.
Do it. Do it! Come on!
So Sony have just announced the new Sony Xperia 10 Mark II. And what I'm going to do today is list out some of the superpowers that this super mid-range phone has. You ready? Let's go. So one of the most awesome things about this super mid-range phone is it has a 21:9 display, which is an OLED and 457 pixels per inch, and behind the scenes you've got the Sony Bravia Triluminous engine, which is going to give you awesome color reproduction on the screen. And let's hope they throw in the creator mode as well, so you get that color accuracy of the TriMaster, the Academy Award winning TriMaster display from Sony. And just to put that into perspective as to how good this is, if you consider the iPhone 11 right now probably is retailing at double the price that this phone will come in at launch day. So the iPhone 11 uses an LCD screen, which is not bad, it's pretty good, but OLED is definitely better in my opinion. So last year I got to check out the Sony Xperia 10 and it had a double shooter and it was pretty good. I did some camera comparisons versus the iPhone and it held up pretty well. But this year with the new Mark II Xperia 10, we're going to see a triple shooter like last year's flagship Xperia 1. So you've got a primary, a tele and a wide, and I would expect Sony to add in their Cinema Pro app and also maybe the Photo Pro app to make the most of those three shooters. They will be capable of 4K and also 120 frames per second slow motion. It'll be really awesome to see how good that is on this device. And also they've listened to the fans like yourself and they've added in a dedicated night mode. I'm super interested to see how good that's going to be, and I certainly will be testing it out, so stay tuned to the channel for some camera comparisons with that device. Number 3 is the build quality. So the mid-range smartphone market is so competitive, and what we tend to see is brands really cut corners on certain things, but Sony really haven't done that when it comes to the build quality on the Mark II. They've actually gone with Gorilla Glass 6 front and back, and as well as that they've made it watertight, so it's IPX 65 and 68 rated, so fully waterproof smartphone from Sony, and that's not bad for a mid-range device, right? And number 4, the specs. So we're going to have a Snapdragon 665, which is a mid-range tier chipset, but it is by no means a slouch. So we're going to see a 20% improvement on the graphics rendering from the last Snapdragon 660, as well as better AI performance, better power efficiency, better CPU clock speeds. Combine that with 4 gigs of RAM and the 128 expandable memory inside, and you've got some pretty respectable specs on the Xperia 10 Mark II. And they've also upped the battery size to 3600 milliamp hours, which isn't huge, but it's pretty good. It's better than last year's flagship, the Xperia 1, and I fully expect the charging speeds to be a bit faster than last year as well. So it's got pretty awesome specs for that mid-tier. So number 5, a brand new fingerprint reader. So this year they've gone all in one, so we don't have the separate power button like we had last year. And last year the fingerprint readers were a bit hit and miss. Some people said they worked fantastically all of the time, some people said they weren't very good at all. Hopefully this year they will be improved. We will find out. Stay tuned to the channel for the review on the Xperia 10 Mark II. Number 6, the headphone jack is back, and we saw it coming, and it's a good thing, especially when you consider a 21:9 screen is really designed for watching movies. There's nothing worse than watching a movie while the audio is out of sync, and that can happen with older Bluetooth headsets. With a wire you will never experience this, and it also means you'll get the highest quality audio playback that the device is capable of, with no lag, no interference from other devices or anything like that. So it's definitely a welcomed addition to the Xperia 10 Mark II, but that's not to say if you are a fan of wireless headphones you won't get the most from those as well, because you will have LDAC, you'll have aptX HD as well, Bluetooth 5.0, so you can still get really good quality from Bluetooth as long as you've got a decent pair of headphones that will accommodate the latest codecs when it comes to Bluetooth. If you enjoyed this video, I made a similar video for the Xperia 1 Mark II. That's on screen right now, and if you're a fan of Sony headphones, check out my XM4 video. It's just a bit of fun before the launch. They haven't officially announced it, just some leaks and rumors you guys might want to check out. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't be late.